Welcome back to Box Aviation and a beautiful day to you. Today we're doing the airport update for Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport update for the month of October 2023. Before we get into this airport update, I would like to just say that there's a lot of diversions in this airport update, and not all of them happened for this month of October. So a lot of the diversions are coming from August and September. I was not able to do a September video for Atlanta because I was busy, and August I did it too early, so this video will contain diversions from August and September as well, so it will not be completely October. The portions of this video that are for the October update will of course be the normal routes as we see here in Atlanta, but majority if I say there's a diversion, I'll tell you if it was from September, October, or it was from November. So just want to say that before we start this video. But a lot of interesting planes came into Atlanta, and some some of the routes that I normally fly here to Atlanta got a difference. So it's really interesting to see, especially as I get into the video. Anyway, what am I doing? Let's start off this airport update with this beautiful British Airways Airbus A380-800. This guy will be going out for his flight out to Miami. This guy is of course a diversion flight. On August 17th, you might have seen or heard about it. This British Airways A380-800 was flying in between London Heathrow and Miami International Airport. Because of some bad weather in Miami, they had to divert to Atlanta. I'll put some pictures up above of the flight itself. This plane diverted back to Atlanta, stayed on the ground for Atlanta with a few other planes that diverted, which we will get at the later part of this video. So there was diversions because of bad weather over Florida, and because of that the A380 came here to Atlanta. The guy stayed pretty much landed, and I think it stayed like a half an hour. It just stayed on the one of the taxiways at Atlanta, and then went to the old A380 gate. My best thing is I think they just got refueled. I don't think they would take off passengers or cargo because that's not their original destination, but they probably just refueled and went back to Miami. So it's really cool to finally see the A380 back in Atlanta after probably like 3-5 years of no A380 serving Atlanta. So it's great to see the A380 back then. I wish I could have spotted then, because it would have been insane, but really cool again. This beautiful British Airways A380-800 came in from his flight from London Heathrow, and this guy will be going out for his flight out to Miami. This Virgin Atlantic Airbus A350-1000 is getting pushed out for his flight out to London Heathrow. Very happy that Virgin Atlantic is flying the A350 back to Atlanta on the London service. Great to see it again. We used to see on the service the 900 Neo, so great again to see that the 1000 is back. Here we have this KLM 777-300 that came in from Amsterdam Schiphol. Great to see this service again on KLM. One interesting fact about this flight: recently KLM has been serving the 777-300 in the orange pride livery recently. I don't know why. It's been I think like 70% of the time I see the 777-300 here in Atlanta, it's usually in the orange pride livery. So that's kind of cool that KLM is bringing the orange pride livery out to Atlanta. Wished I was on that flight, but I'm not flying to Amsterdam anytime soon. Here we have this Delta Airlines Airbus A350-900 in the Spirit of Delta livery. This aircraft is taxiing out to the runway and going out for a flight out to Tokyo Haneda. Korean Air 747-8i. This aircraft came in from his flight from Seoul, South Korea. Coming in from London is this British Airways 777-200. This aircraft again is coming from London. Another interesting fact about this route, actually just like the KLM, 70% of the time, I think 90% of the time I've seen the BA 777-200 here in Atlanta. It's almost always in the One World livery, so that's kind of cool again to see such a special livery coming. The special livery is coming into Atlanta, so kind of really cool to see that British Airways is sending the One World livery one. So really cool to see by British Airways. Air Canada CRJ-900 taxiing the runway. This aircraft will be going to Toronto. Delta Airlines Airbus A350-900 from Paris Charles de Gaulle. Delta Airlines Airbus A330-300. This aircraft will be going to Honolulu. Here we have the Delta Airlines Airbus A330-900neo in the Team USA livery. This aircraft will be going to Amsterdam Schiphol. One interesting I'd like to say about the neo service here in Atlanta, we've been actually getting the neo much more recently. One of the interesting routes I saw the neo served, I think it was in in September. We saw the A330 neo, the 900 neo service to Lagos, Nigeria. So that was kind of cool to see that they are flying recently a lot of neo routes. I think some of the routes they've been flying the neo is Amsterdam, Paris, and Lagos, Nigeria. And I think once I saw it on service to Milan. I think not a lot of neo action, but better than having no neo, of course. Here we have the Delta Airlines Airbus A330-200. This guy came in from his flight from Frankfurt. Here we have the Delta Airlines Airbus A350-900 taxiing out for his flight out to Barcelona. Reason I want to add this route to Barcelona for a reason is if you did hear last month about the poop flight, I'll put some information. Pretty much a passenger pooped out all over the plane, which was very interesting, and they had to divert back to Atlanta, and pretty much it was just a horrible situation. So I decided to add in the poop flight for this airport update. So another diversion here in this airport update. Really cool. Delta Airlines 767-300ER from Raleigh. Here we have the Delta Airlines 767-300ER. This guy is getting pushed back out first flight out to JFK. This Delta Airlines Airbus A350-900 is coming in from his flight from Charlotte. Really interesting service I found on Flightrider 24. I don't know why they were flying 900 to Charlotte. Usually the service is on the 717, so I really don't know. But just a really cool catch to see this 900 on this cool route. Delta Airlines Airbus A350-900. This guy came in from his flight from Lima, Peru. Here we have the Delta Airlines Airbus A330-300. This guy will be going out for a flight out to Rome, FCO. Here we have this American Airlines Airbus A321neo. This guy came in from his flight from LAX. Really interesting that American has recently been increasing their actual A321neo service. We've been seeing the A321neo on the LAX flight, DFW, and to Miami. So we've been seeing the neo being served more and more here at Atlanta, which is amazing. Here we have the American Airlines Airbus A319. This guy came in from Philadelphia. Here we have the American Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the Astrojet livery. This guy will be going out for a flight out to Dallas Fort Worth. Another plane that has been flying a lot here is the 737-800. Like last month, it was pretty much all A319s coming into Atlanta, but recently the amount of 737-800 on American Airlines has been increasing a lot. The Miami service, the DFW service, I think at least like 4 routes on American Airlines are now on the 737-800s for this month of November, which is really interesting. Sometimes we do see like an A319 or like an A320, but the 737-800 really rocked this month, which is really interesting from American Airlines. Here we have this cute little plane. This is of course the American Eagle Retro Colors E170. This aircraft will be going out for a flight out to Chicago O'Hare. Incredible catch I found a few weeks back. I forgot if it was, I think it was this month I caught it. It was the retro livery, which is even better. I've been looking to have this the 170 here at Atlanta for a while, and to see on the Chicago turn, usually the Chicago turns on the A319 and E175, but to see the 170, and especially in the retro colors, is just insane to catch it, and I was just so happy to find this super rare, cool find. So again, this beautiful E170 will be going on first flight out to Chicago O'Hare. Here we have the Envoy American Eagle E175. This aircraft is taxiing into his gate after he came in from his flight from Washington Reagan. Here we have the United Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 9 in the older livery. This 737 MAX 9 will going out for a flight out to Houston. As for usually on the Houston service, I've been seeing the 175, but sometimes we do see the 737 MAX 9 service on this route. This United Airlines 737-800 with split scimitars in the Continental Glow colors. This aircraft is coming in from Chicago O'Hare. Here we have the United Airlines 737 MAX 8. This guy will be going out for a flight out to Washington Dulles. This United Airlines 737-900 in the Continental Glow colors with the blended winglets. This aircraft will be going out for a flight out to Newark. Here we have again 2 emergency flights. The first one is a diversion. The second one is came back to Atlanta. The first one is the United Airlines E-175. This airplane was flying on a route from, Washington Dulles to Charlotte. This aircraft was flying on August 26th over North Carolina. When for some reason, because of bad weather, they were not able to land in Charlotte, so they diverted all the way to Atlanta. And the Atlanta flight is longer than, it's like it doubled their flight time, which I feel really bad for those passengers because they land in Atlanta, stay like 20 minutes on the ground, and then lifted off for the flight back to Charlotte. I feel so bad for the passengers because pretty much their flight time tripled, which that's just really annoying for the passengers. This service was on August 26th. I gotta catch it. It was like 11 p.m. It was pretty late. I dread to be those passengers. It would be for an aviator, that'd be really cool, but for the average passenger, that would have been a nightmare. But the second flight is, this service was between Atlanta and Denver. This aircraft, I believe, was the United Airbus A319. That aircraft, both these aircraft were actually on the Evo Blue colors. Just want to say that. I don't have the Evo Blues at this moment, so I'll just put the regular Continental colors. But again, the United A319 was flying between Atlanta and Denver when something wrong with their cargo door made them have to come back to Atlanta and land. So really cool 2 flights that are, the first one I caught by myself. The second one was from a fellow aviator. I found out about this really cool, turning back to Atlanta. So really cool. This Southwest Airlines 737 MAX 8, this aircraft will be going out for a flight out to Austin. Southwest 737-700 with split scimitars in Missouri 1 livery. This aircraft came in from LaGuardia. This Southwest Airlines 737-700 in the Maryland 1 livery in the Old Tail. This aircraft will be going out for a flight out to Reagan. Southwest 737-800 in, of course, the Freedom 1 livery with split scimitars. This aircraft came in from its flight from Houston Hobby. Southwest Airlines 737 MAX 8. This aircraft will be going to San Antonio. Southwest 737-700 in the Lone Star 1 livery. This aircraft going out for a flight out to Phoenix. Getting pushed out for a flight out to, Tampa. This aircraft is the Southwest Airlines 737-800 in the Tennessee 1 colors. Again, this aircraft getting pushed back out for a flight out to Tampa. This JetBlue E190 and of course this X-ray livery. This aircraft will be going out for a flight out to Boston. Actually, on this service we've been seeing the X-ray livery a lot personally, so it's great to see to put a realistic livery here in this airport update. So really cool. Here we have the JetBlue Airbus A321neo in the Streamer's Tail. This aircraft will be going out for a flight out to JFK. While researching the route for this airport update, I actually caught this flight last minute, so great to see that the neo is flying to Atlanta. Usually we do see the E190 and A320, but we really don't see the A321neo, so really excited to add this airplane to the airport update. Spirit Airlines Airbus A319 in the old livery. This A319 came in from its flight from Chicago O'Hare. Alaska Airlines 737-900 with split scimitars. This aircraft came in from its flight from Seattle. WestJet 737-700 without winglets in the old livery. This 737-700 will be going out for a flight out to Winnipeg. Really cool find from WestJet. This aircraft is actually served by the wingleted version of the 737-700, but I don't have it at the moment, so I'll put the wingleted version. So that ends off this portion of the airport update for the terminal section. Departed Atlanta a few minutes ago. This is the beautiful American Airlines 737 MAX 8. This aircraft again departed out for a flight out to Miami. Actually, on the Miami service, we've been seeing the 737 MAX a lot. So great to see that the MAX is bringing a presence here at Atlanta from American Airlines. Now for the Delta narrow-body section of this airport / cargo. I don't have any room on the bigger table at the terminal for these planes, so it's kind of the remote stand of the airport update. I hope in the future to get a more table space so I can of course include in these airport updates, but for now I'll just have kind of this setup. But here we have this beautiful Delta Airlines Airbus A319. This aircraft will be going out for a flight out to Dallas, DAL. Delta Airlines Airbus A321ceo in the Course D thank you livery. This aircraft came in from a flight from Austin, Texas. Delta Airlines 737-900 in the special livery. This 737-900 came in from a flight from Panama City. Delta Airlines Airbus A321ceo. This aircraft will be going out for a flight out to Dallas, Fort Worth. Here we have the Delta Airlines 757-200. This guy just got pushed out for a flight to Champlain, Illinois. This is of course a charter service. Delta does not fly to Champlain, Illinois, so great to see this charter service. This aircraft I think it flew a few times to Champlain. The recent flight, I think it was on the 737-900. I'll get to the specifics at the end. But this 757-200 was actually operated by the non-wingleted version, but I do not have it, so I'll be having the wingleted version go to Champlain. Here we have another Delta Airlines 757-200. This aircraft came in from a flight from New Orleans. Here we have the Delta Airlines 737-900. This beautiful 900 with split scimitars. This aircraft will be going on for a flight out to Knoxville, Tennessee. Here we have the Delta Airlines Airbus A321ceo. This aircraft came in from a flight from LAX. I will be actually taking this flight to LAX on the A321 to and from LAX in about a month's time in November. Super excited to fly on this route. 5-hour flight on the A321ceo. Not looking forward because the CEO is pretty boring. I hope that they'll upgrade it to maybe like a 757, but majority of the times it's going to be on the CEO. Hope to fly on the thank you livery if possible. But again, this beautiful Delta Airlines A321ceo came in from its flight from LAX. This Delta Airlines 757-300 without winglets will be going out for a flight out to Detroit. Really fun fact about this aircraft, I had a personal friend fly on the 757-300 to Detroit on this specific route. Really happy to add this into the airport update. And an interesting fact is this airplane's registration is November 591 November Whiskey. The person that I knew flew November 592 November Whiskey, so almost the exact same registration. Really cool if it was the same registration, but again, this beautiful 757-300 will be going out for a flight out to Detroit. Delta Airlines Boeing 757-200 with winglets. This aircraft came in from its flight from Minneapolis. Delta Airlines 737-900 getting pushed out for its flight out to Charleston, South Carolina. Here we have the Delta Airlines 757-200 with winglets. This aircraft will be going out for its flight out to Kansas City. That Delta Airlines 717-200 will be going for its flight this aircraft came in from its flight from Wilmington. Over here we have the beautiful Delta Connection CRJ 700 going out for its flight out to Brunswick, Georgia. One interesting thing I like to say, it's hard to find CRJ 700 routes here at Atlanta. Majority of the CRJ routes here are on the 900 variant, so very annoying that Delta is not finding that many CRJ 700s. I like to get some more CRJ 700s in the collection, but since there's not many, I have to get more 900s. But the problem with getting 900s is that they are quite a rare model to find. Really annoying personally, but just still happy to see some CRJ 700 routes here in Atlanta. Taxiing in from a flight from White Plains is this beautiful Delta Connection CRJ 900. I cannot believe I'm about to say this, but here we have a second Delta Connection CRJ 900. This aircraft came in from its flight from Monroe. Here we have the SkyWest Airlines CRJ 700 in the house livery. This guy is flying on behalf of Delta Connection. This aircraft will be going for a flight out to Albany. This UPS 757-200 without winglets F. This beautiful 757 came in from a flight from Louisville. Now we have the UPS 767-300F without winglets. This aircraft will be going out for a flight out to Louisville, Kentucky. getting pushed back out for a flight out to Louisville is this beautiful UPS 767-300 without winglets. Here we have the beautiful Prime Air 767-300F with winglets. This beautiful 767-300 came in from a flight from Cincinnati. Going to Seoul, South Korea is this beautiful Korean Air Cargo 747-8IF. And to end off this airport update is this beautiful UPS 767-300 without winglets. This 767-300 is coming in from a flight from Philadelphia. So that ends off this airport update for the model sections airport update. Before we end off this video and the final, I'll start with the final remarks and some of the interesting stuff I was not able to put in this airport update because I don't have the models or some interesting things that I found during my time here at looking on like Friday 24. I'll put pictures up above for the things that happen, of course. So the first one is Ethiopian Airlines, of course, for their flight to Addis Ababa. Usually on this service we see the 787-8 or 9. One time I did see the 777-200 LR, and it was in August I saw this, so it was pretty cool to see the 777-200 in Atlanta. Next one is Iceland Air announced the new route to Atlanta from Reykjavik. So great to see that we're seeing non-stop flights to Reykjavik. Delta, we'll see if Delta will allow Iceland Air to keep their flight here to Reykjavik since they're kind of territorial. I think when they flew to, was it not JFK? I forgot. But again, Delta's very territorial when it comes to Atlanta. So we'll see if Iceland Air will be able to compete with Delta Airlines on this route. Another one is if in the earlier part of the video, if you saw the British Airways, A380 diversion flight. On the same day, there was a flight on the Air Canada Rouge A321ceo. This flight was between Toronto and Orlando. The aircraft, again, like the British Airways A380, because of weather, they had to divert to Atlanta and park at one of the remote stands. They stayed about a few hours in Atlanta and then went out for their flight to, MCL. So great to see. Another one, it was the JetBlue Airbus 320. It was between JFK and Orlando. The aircraft diverted to Atlanta with the same thing like the other two airplanes because of weather problems in, of course, Florida. Another flight was on August 24, a FedEx 767-300 between Fort Lauderdale and Memphis diverted to Atlanta. I don't know the reason why, but really cool. On the 10th of September, a Sun Country 737-800 old livery flew on a charter service between Atlanta and Windsor Locks. Really cool. Next one, again, there is a lot to go over, but a Global X Airbus A320 was flying between Atlanta and Myrtle Beach on September 20th. Another cool flight. And so much to get into, but on the 4th of October, so this month, a Silkway Airlines Il-76 was flying between Keflavik and Atlanta. I believe it went back to Keflavik, but really cool to see that we saw an Il-76 in Atlanta. We haven't seen a Russian plane in like 4 years in Atlanta, so great to see, especially an Il-76. Wish I was there at the time, but sadly I wasn't, but really cool to see a Russian plane at Atlanta. And the final one, it was, Delta Airlines was flying, they were operating their 737-900 with split scimitars. This aircraft flew to Champlain, New York on October 21st, so I was finding, while I was researching the routes for this airport update, I found this route. Really cool that they're flying the 737-900 on, of course, this charter service. It was on the 757 as you've seen previously, but they did bring a bit of the 737-900 service. So that pretty much sums up this airport update for October 2023 with a bit of September and August. So really cool airport, really cool routes, a lot of diversions and charter service, and again, happy to have this such cool planes to add into this airport update. So again, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, go check out my other content. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you, everyone. May God bless you this week, and let's roll the outro. Let's go.